Be your best, be your best. You can do it, be your best. Bio means beauty in Japanese. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello! And if you're coming back, thank you. So today we're going to be talking about products that might help people with acne prone skin, as well as the cause for acne according to some dermatologists. Before that though, let me introduce myself. So my name is Laura and I've been living in Japan for 10 years. I'm currently studying for the Japanese cosmetic license. So this doesn't mean that if I pass the test that I can do anything. It just essentially means that, hey, I studied a little bit about skincare, I studied a little bit about the skin and other facets of beauty like nails, hair, things like that. Struggling with the hair, by the way. Hopefully I can use this knowledge in the Japanese space to help you be your best. Before we get into the video, I'm just gonna mention two things. Number one is if you're in Japan and you would like to go shopping together, then I have customized beauty tours, and if you're interested in that, please feel free to email me at beyobest@gmail.com. And number two is if you see me looking down, I'm looking down in the script. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first up, let's go into some of the reasons for acne and some tips from dermatologists. So disclaimer, A, I'm not a dermatologist. I'm special, but I'm not a specialist. So second disclaimer, I guess, would be that I have dry skin and I don't tend to get a lot of pimples. So I'm not talking from expertise. I'm just talking using the information that I pull from the interwebs. So you can access the references that I use for this video in a Google Doc in the description box below. So based on the videos that I watched, the little bit of reading that I did to prepare for this video, so acne is largely affected by hormones. Surprise, surprise. So this was emphasized greatly by Dr. Dray, who is an American board certified dermatologist in this video, and also in this book by Dr. Kobayashi, who is a Japanese dermatologist. So in Dr. Kobayashi's book, she mentioned also genetics. And just as a personal anecdote, I don't know how, but I didn't realize until just like earlier this year, I went to go visit my family. I spent time with my mom, and I was thinking about, I was like, I never really seen my mom break out. She never really have like the pimples. And as me being her daughter, as an adult, I don't really have a lot of pimples. Like, I'm not the best example for like, oh, like your diet will show on your face. I eat a lot of junk and it doesn't really show up on my face, but I think it's, again, genetic because my mom, she doesn't have it either. But yeah, it's just, hopefully this little anecdote tells you that some things are just out of your control. Sometimes they work in your favor, sometimes they don't. That's all. Oh, but I do get a couple of sebaceous visitors before my period. So that's, again, hormones. Some things you just can't help. Okay, so both Dr. Dray and Dr. Kobayashi mentioned diet as a factor that could affect acne. So Dr. Dray in her video specifically mentioned stress and the stuff that you put on your skin, or as she put it, the P's, if I remember correctly. And she mentioned 3 P's, and that was pollen, pollutions or pollutants, and personal care products. So both doctors mentioned that when you have acne, you should go to the doctor, but this is honestly not accessible to most people, I would say. In Japan, I do believe that getting treatment for acne at the dermatologist is covered by health insurance, and I know that for sure, that at least at least the things that get described, the medicine that gets described for acne treatment on here is given to you by the doctor. So I believe that the visits are also covered. You only have to pay a portion of the visit when you get acne treatment at the dermatologist. But of course, visiting the doctor every time that you get a pimple, which is what a lot of doctors recommend, like, I don't think that's feasible. Time-wise, that's not feasible. Money-wise, and especially in the States, trust me, I know I escaped from the United States 10 years ago. So I didn't have health insurance for things that I actually needed. I definitely didn't have health insurance for a dermatologist. Like, that was not in the budget. There was no budget. So with that in mind, let's go over the routines that the dermatologist recommended for acne prone skin, and then we'll go into some jbeauty products that hopefully will help you if you have acne prone skin. Both doctors basically recommended a very simple skincare routine of just 3 steps, and those 3 steps are: first is sengan or face wash, number 2 is hoshitsu or moisturizer, moisturize wetness, and then UV care or sunscreen. So the things that I took away from watching their videos are the following. So number 1, with sengan or face wash, you should use something that is relatively gentle. So people tend to think that in order to get rid of acne, they need to like go ham on their face, and I think, quoting Dr. Dray, it was using overly aggressive skincare, but both doctors put an emphasis on gentle washing. By gentle, Dr. Dray meant in terms of like, don't be going, like, she I think specifically mentioned scrubs, like don't necessarily need to be using all those scrub dubs, apricot scrubs kind of thing. But then Dr. Kobayashi specifically put an emphasis on washing your face with a foam wash and to not do goshi goshi. So goshi goshi is the onomatopoeia for like just like scrubbing like hard. Like if you like think of like you're cleaning a frying pan, your face is not a frying pan, okay? You're not gonna be scrubbing away at your skin. I'm talking to one specific person. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. Stop that. But yeah, you don't need to go that hard when rubbing your face. And I feel like this might be a difference between like Western like skincare paradigms and American skincare paradigms. When I say Western, I mean America, because from America, so that's all I really know. So I think there is a little bit of a difference with that. Like there's a lot of, in Japan, there's a lot of emphasis on not rubbing your face vigorously when washing your face, but not even when just washing your face, but even when doing your skincare. It's like just be like gentle, like rubbing into your face, not going ham, you know? So getting back to the face wash. So Dr. Dray, on the other hand, she mentioned talking about, aside from using gentle skincare options that don't involve scrubs and things like that, she mentioned using fragrance-free options since this can be irritating for some people. And so with regards to hoshitsu or moisturizers, Dr. Dray recommended using fragrance-free products, and Dr. Kobayashi mentioned that if you have oily skin or are prone to getting pimples, that a cream might not be necessary because like it has the most oil in the product out of like out of a toner, an emulsion, and a cream. The cream is gonna have the most oil in that product. And she even said that depending on the season or how it is that your skin is dealing with like acne, other acne treatments that you're using, you might not even want to use like a toner and an emulsion. You could use a toner or an emulsion. So just keep it in mind, like depending on what the season, you don't need to use both, you only need to use one. You just need to get, like she said, the saite, I believe is a saite hoshitsu or something. So it's like just like the minimum amount of moisture. You're not trying to be over moisturized because again, we're trying to prevent that pimples from getting on your face, you know, you feel me? So lastly, for sunscreen, I don't think Dr. Dray had gone into too much detail about the types of sunscreen, but Kobayashi sensei mentioned to try and not use sunscreens that have a lot of oil in them, and she pointed out waterproof sunscreen as an example since that is usually an oil-based formula. And that's not to say never use waterproof sunscreen, but it's just like be mindful of when you use it. Oh, for example, if you're gonna do sports, you're gonna go outside, you're gonna be in the sun for a long time, then you can, you know, use it. But for example, like let's say that you're going to the supermarket and it's what, maybe a 10-minute walk away, so you put on your sunscreen and then you'll go to the supermarket and you'll come back. Like you don't need to wear water resistant sweat-proof like sunscreen like if you was gonna be on the beach playing the Summer Olympics volleyball. Like you don't need all of that. Just, you know, situation, time, place, objective. I don't know what the TPO, right? There's oh no, I forgot what it is. Yeah, but yeah, I think that covers most of the tips for the two videos. Now we're gonna talk about ingredients that were suggested by both doctors. Okay, so the first up is Salicylic or Salicylic Acid, and this was recommended by both doctors, and I believe that face wash with Salicylic Acid was recommended by both of them over a leave-on product with Salicylic Acid. And for jbeauty products, there's not a proliferous amount of, realistically, I might not be using the word proliferous correctly, so, but just there's not like a crazy amount of products that have Salicylic in them. It's not an ingredient that's used super often in Japanese products, but we do have some, so let's go over that. So Kobayashi Sensei has a post on her Instagram talking about products with Salicylic, and one of them is the Nove AC active wash foam. So I found on the Nove website that they have two types of wash. They have one that comes in this tube form, which is the one that the sensei was talking about. And this has Salicylic for antibacterial purposes. And then they have one that has the foam that comes out already as a foam, and it does have Salicylic, but on the ingredient list it's specifically listed as a preservative or a bolfazide, so I don't know that it would have the percentage that is required for acne care treatment. So let's just go with what Kobayashi Sensei had recommended. And as for the one in the tube, it's oil free, it's fragrance free, it's coloring free, but it's not free. They done a patch test, an allergy test, and a non-comedogenicy test. But remember, because it passes test doesn't mean you're gonna pass y'all. Do a patch test as a person who never patch tests. But I also have really strong skin, but I should probably test it. But in full transparency, but you should pass it. Please do your patch test. Anyway, so the price is 2,750 yen for 100 grams. And then here are some tips for using it from the site. So number one is use 1 to 2 centimeters at one time, and then you foam it up using either water or warm water. It says here slightly warm water, and then make sure that you rinse it completely when washing it off of your face. So the site points out to wash around your nose and forehead well, since these are places where, you know, you'll generally have a lot of oil being produced. That's the T-zone, right? And again, no goshi goshi. I believe the site specifically says also goshi goshi, just make sure to clean them well. And number 3, use it every day to prevent the pimples. So this product wasn't mentioned by Dr. Kobayashi, but another jbeauty product that has Salicylic is from the brand Meishoku Vegan. So they actually have 3 types of cleansers, but only one of them has Salicylic as the active ingredient. So this is the Begotten Make Otoshi, or the Begotten Makeup Cleanser. So it's called the Yakuyo Cleansing Gel, or the medicated cleansing gel. So it's a gel and not an oil cleanser. This brand also has a water-based cleanser called the Begotten Yakuyo Sengan Foam, or the Begotten Medicated Foam Face Wash. So this one does not have Salicylic, but has the active ingredient glutathione stearyl, or stearyl glyceroside. I don't know how to say that word in English, but apparently I've been saying it wrong in Japanese this whole time, so. And so this ingredient, stearyl glyceroside, is supposed to help with inflammation. Another product that has Salicylic from the Meishoku Began line is their toner. This is called the Meishoku Began Sui, and it has Salicylic and homosulfamine as the active ingredient. So on their site, it says that salicylic acid gets rid of the dead skin cells and the buildup in the pores, while the homosulfamine goes in and kills the acne bacteria. So this product comes in 2 sizes. So you have the small baby one that's 90 milliliters. It starts from 990 yen, and it's as it's listed on their site, but if you go to store, it might be a different price. And then you have the 100 milliliter bottle, which goes for around 1500 yen, and that's the price is listed on the site. But again, if you go to a store, it might be a little bit different. So the Began series also has 2 more products that have Salicylic as the active ingredient, and that is the medicated men's toner, and you have also the Began Seken, or the Began soap. Another ingredient that was mentioned by both doctors as well was sulfur, which in Japanese is iyo. So the ingredient, from what I've seen more often than not, is written in katakana versus kanji. I don't know why, but this is just a thing. And so this is actually another ingredient that is not too commonly found in Japanese products, but I think it's less common, I would say, than the Salicylic. So Dr. Kobayashi mentioned this in her video, and that it's found to be effective against acne at the 10% mark. I don't know that any of the following like J-Beauty products have sulfur to that percentage, but here are some J-Beauty products that do have sulfur in them. So first up is this series by Rosetto. So this series actually came out earlier this year, and they have 4 types of face washes and 1 tone. So of the face washes, or they call them sengan pasta because it's a face wash paste, but I don't know why they use the word the pastas. I guess it just, I don't know, trying to confuse the Italians or something out there. So for this face wash, there are 4 types, but only 2 of them have sulfur as the active ingredient. And those 2 are here. So the pink one is recommended for oily skin and for those dealing with puberty acne. The green one says that it is for otona, nikibi, or adult acne, and this one is recommended for people with dry, sensitive skin. So for the face washes, they have this like face wash paste that comes in a really interesting looking packet. I think it's interesting. I've never seen this before. So you just press the packet down around the hole, like there's a hole in the middle, right? And then you press it like equally with equal pressure, bloop, and then from the hole you get some product. And so getting 0.5 to 1 centimeter of product, I'm assuming that that's 1 push. Then you use water or warm water to foam bubbles, and then use the foam again to wash your face. Gentle, no goshi goshi. So make sure to rinse the product thoroughly after you finish washing your face. So these soaps are listed for 715 yen on the official Rosette site for 90 grams. So again, in stores, it'll be at least that much. So the other product from Rosetto that has sulfur, not sulfur, is this toner right here. So while this product has sulfur in it, the active ingredient is not sulfur, but the active ingredient is glycerolithium dicadium, which has anti-inflammatory properties. So the official Rosette site has this toner listed as 990 yen for 500 milliliters. The site recommends it to use it as a regular toner, or as a fukitori keshou sui, or as a wiping toner. So you put, you know, the toner on a little cotton pad, and then you use that to wipe your face. So just like, you know, an at-home toner pad that you make, and you can make your own mask with it for special care. So you would just, you know, put it on the toner pads, and then you would leave that to soak on your face. Or because it's such a big bottle, it's like you can use it in body after you shower to prevent body acne as well. So there you go. Also, look at this cool effect that they have on the website. Look at it. So there's still more to get into with this topic, but as you all may or may not know, I'm not the biggest fan of editing, so I'm gonna snip this right here. So remember to like and subscribe to get notifications of when my next episode for this series drops. I will be talking about more J-Beauty products that are made for acne, and I will be talking about some more ingredients that I didn't mention here that doctors recommended for acne. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the description box. No, in the comment section below. Remember, if you want to go shopping in Japan together, please email me at beyobestbeauty@gmail.com. As always, hope you have a great day, and remember, God bless and be your best!